Another day of fencing. Yeah, fixing fence. I guess I wouldn't call it fencing. I'm not really building anything. Just putting in some staples, putting some T-posts in behind broken posts, this, that, and the other. Not too bad. I had to go shut the fencer off so I wasn't getting shocked. But it's going to be pretty easy. Pretty easy. We already got moose fed for today. So we're going to spend most of the day doing this or until we get done. And then I might try to work on the shop a little bit. Thought Boss Man was going to go. I thought we were going to work cattle this morning maybe, but he didn't feel like it. And tomorrow, where the wind's supposed to blow 1,000,000 miles an hour, I think we're probably just going to double feed and go home. Way it sounds anyway. So we'll see. We'll see, but I'm going to get after this and fix this post here. And then we'll go back outside and go all the way around. Do those, turn the fencer back on, and head over to the other set of pins. Okay, we just got 6 and 7 done. 6 had a lot of broken posts, 7 only had 1, which is good. And had 1 in between, I guess, too. We'll open this gate up there in front of me, and I'm going to jump over to pin 5. And we'll see how things work out there. I was debating on whether or not to jump into 4 first. I don't know. I'll figure it out here in a second. Remember that tank I showed you? It was crystal clear the other day. That's how quickly it can change because of the stuff that's on their snouts. Okay, we started pin 4. The reason I started at pin 4, you'll see here momentarily, is that the barbed wire is facing to pin 4. I'll flip you around. You can see we want the barbed wire to this side so we can see the staples and these insulators. And once in a while they'll pop off these little wires here. Not a big deal. Pop it back on. Everything's good, but we got to put this post on the back side of here and wire it up because she's broken. All right, behind me, you see they got a nice little pond going, which is fine, but it just made my job really difficult, and I'll show you why. So this bottom wire right here was underneath all this poopy and mud. Manure. I thought it was broke initially, but it wasn't. It was just really stretched. So once I finally got it dug up, I stretched the fence tight with a fence stretcher and then kind of wrapped that wire up and curled it under. But I got to replace a couple of staples. They actually make a tool to do just what I did with the stretcher and the fencing pliers. And I've seen the tool used, I think on Facebook is where I saw it. And it looks like it works just slick, and it looks better than what I did, but what I did works. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works, and doing that is cheaper than putting new barbed wire in. So, fence is tight now. Put a couple new staples in it. And keep making my way around here once I get through this pond. Oh, goodness. Don't you just hate when people won't leave your toys alone? I'm talking to you, buddy. All kinds of things to scratch yourself on. You got to do one on this. Yeah, it's kind of amazing. These guys just flock right over here just to see what's going on and hang out. Really well behaved for the most part. Pen 6 this morning had a pretty riled up one. Hell, pen number 7 had one that was a good bluffer. I think that's just because he saw the dog. But I think Pen 5, he had one that was kind of bluffing too when I was over there helping Boss Man with something. These old boys, they're pretty docile. I got one up front here trying to headbutt me. There he goes. They just like to play. We'll go around their little lake they made here. Get on the other side. I think I got a broken post over there. No real big deal. Look at you buggers go. Friendly little things, ain't they? Just like I thought. Got a broken one, which is no big deal because I got these fancy little T-posts. So, not bad. Tamp this on the outside of that, wire it together, and she'll be good enough to hold these buggers in. Then springtime, when the ground's a little bit softer, we'll be able to come out here, dig up the old posts, put new ones in, and call it good. Well, I was hoping my stretching time was going to be done there, but apparently not. They broke the fence. Bottom rung again, just rooting around at it. It's all they do, step on it. Then it gets covered in mud and poop and all that other good stuff, and it just breaks. Not good. So, I'll show you kind of what I'm looking here. So you see they already tried to splice that in, but it broke on the old wire. You can see the new wire, or the rest of the old wire over here. We're missing a good chunk out of it in the center. And once we stretch it tight, it ain't gonna be so bad. You can see it's kind of floppy all the way down there. Well, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna curl this over, wrap it around itself, and then we're gonna pull off one of the barbs towards the back there after we wrap a piece through the new eye. So eye here, wrap around here, run a new eye through there with the new wire, and I told you wrong. But we're gonna stretch it off of that new piece over there. We're gonna take that old piece out of there. Hopefully that'll hold. So yeah, I told you wrong the first time. Take the old wire, we're gonna put an eye in it. We're gonna take new wire that I got in the back here. We're gonna put another eye, run that through the eye loop, and then wrap around itself. That'll hold it tight. And then we're gonna run that new barbed wire down until we get a place we can hook on that splice that they did. And we're gonna stretch it tight. And then we'll run the new barbed wire through the eyelet that's already there. And then once we release the fence stretchers, everything will be nice and tight. Not hard, just a pain. Especially when you gotta dig that wire out of all the poop. Oh well. My friends don't care, and I'm pretty sure I heard them laughing at me. Okay, you can see I pulled right behind that eye. Got everything tight all the way down there and over to here. So I'm gonna cut this wire off in here somewhere. I'm gonna wrap it through that eye and then wrap it over itself back here. And then I'll come back up over itself. And you see, if I can make my way down here through the mud. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, there we go. See how we wrapped over ourselves there. So she should hold nice and tight now. I sure hope she holds tight anyway. When they get stepping on that and rooting on it and they push it down, it gets below that manure, it's just a bugger. But we getting it. Slowly but surely. A lot of digging with our hands. Okay, we got that eye made. Nice and easy. We'll take that, release those, and then we will release our teeth. You can see, nice and tight. So now I just got to put some staples in. Okay, so when I talk to you about twisting that stuff and tightening a wire up that ain't broke, it's kind of what I'm talking about. They got a special tool that'll do this, but you take a short bite at it and you get yourself a little deal here. I don't know what you want to call it, but you'll just essentially just twist this wire. And once you twist that, you fold it back over itself, and then that'll stay tight. And I would have probably just put a brace between this wire and the wire above it, but this wire is a hot wire. So I don't want to do that. Probably wouldn't cause any issues, but I don't want to cause any issues if I can help it. And you guys have seen how my luck has been here the past few weeks, so we don't want to test it. So I'll get the fencing pliers in here, and we'll just twist this up, and everything will be just peachy. You guys kind of see what I'm doing here. That'll focus a little bit for me. But I made a loop. I just got the fencing pliers in here. Just gonna twist it up like that. I'll get the pliers on here and I'll fold this over itself, and it'll stay put, stay nice and tight. Alright, we got these loose. Pull the fencers off of here. You can see, nice and tight now, not hanging. So we're good. Well, I got 4 and 5 all shored up now. 5 wasn't too bad. 4 had a few broken posts, and I had to fix those 2 chunks of wire, but not a big deal. 5, I just put in a few staples. I braced 1 or 2 posts up, and then he seen me put some tension in that wire. So I'm gonna go turn the fencer back on, get up out of this pen here, and then probably head over towards pen 1 and work my way back to the sick pens. You know, I think I'm gonna stop telling you all what I'm doing, because every time I do, it seems like I have terrible luck. But went over to pen 1, got just inside the gate, and this old bugger sunk. And all these pens are muddy. And the reason they're muddy is because we got all that snow at the end of last week on Friday. Well, then it all melted since it was nice this week, and those pens are just a mess. Nothing you can do about it, it's just the way it is. But go in there, sunk, tried to dig it out, that didn't work, so went and took the bucket off the loader and used it to pull out. It worked, but my God, what a mess. Alright, so now we're gonna be here by the distiller's pile behind it. And we got a spigot over here. I'm gonna see if I can just spray the water out of the hose on it and clean it up, or if I gotta get the pressure washer out. But we'll give this a shot, see what it does. It doesn't have to be pretty. I just don't want all that mud to freeze on there. Well, now that I'm done with that, and that hose did work, by the way. I didn't have to get the pressure washer, thank goodness. But now that that's out of the way, I think I'm gonna go back to cleaning and organizing stuff here in the shop. Fill out another hour or so before I start mixing feed, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. If it's blowing like it is, we'll probably just double feed and head home. Because there ain't a whole lot you can do out here this time of year when the wind's blowing like that. At least here. We don't have a shop we can pull tractors in, so we're not going to sit outside and work on them. Cattle pens are all shored up. Fence is all good now, so we don't got to worry about that. We're not going to doctor cattle when the wind's blowing like it. The cattle just aren't going to want to move. So I think that's what the boss man's got in mind. I am going to get after this, feed, and then we'll go home. So I think I'm going to cut this off here, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I have a little more information in it than the last one, I suppose. So at any rate, guys, as always, I thank you all for watching.